Hello all, welcome to my channel DevOps Learning. This is Rajesh having 12 years IT experience and 4 years in DevOps. This introduction session is about people who are new to DevOps and wanted to step into cloud or DevOps platform. Here we are going to discuss about few cloud concepts and roadmap to DevOps. That is how you wanted to start your career to the cloud platform. I wanted to share my knowledge and experience and some interview tips in later sessions at the end of each session. Here I am planning to start Terraform series IAC infrastructure as a code using AWS cloud platform. Few simple basic points we will discuss now about cloud. Introduction to cloud computing. What is the cloud? Cloud definition. Yes, the cloud refers to servers that are accessed over the internet and the software and databases that run on these servers. Cloud servers are located in data centers all over the world. By using cloud computing, users and companies do not have to manage physical servers themselves to run software applications on their own machines. Types of cloud computing. There are four main types of cloud computing: private clouds, public clouds, hybrid clouds, and multi clouds. Public cloud. What is a public cloud? A public cloud is a service run by an external vendor that may include servers in one or multiple data centers. Unlike a private cloud, public clouds are shared by multiple organizations. Using virtual machines, individual servers may be shared by different companies, a situation that is called multi-tenancy because multiple tenants are renting server space within the same server. For example of public cloud, Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud, IBM Cloud, and Microsoft Azure, etc. What are the private clouds? A private cloud is a server, data center, or distributed network wholly dedicated to one organization. What are the hybrid clouds? Hybrid cloud deployments combine public and private clouds and may even include on-premises legacy servers. An organization may use their private cloud for some services and their public cloud for others, or they may use the public cloud as backup for their private cloud. What are multi-clouds? Multi-cloud is a type of cloud deployment that involves using multiple public clouds. In other words, an organization with a multi-cloud deployments rents virtual servers and services from several external vendors. What are the main service models of cloud computing? Here we are going to discuss some models of the cloud computing. Cloud services are infrastructure platforms or software that are hosted by third-party providers and made available to users through internet. Infrastructure as a service. IaaS means a cloud service provider manages the infrastructure for you. The actual servers, network, virtualization, and data storage through an internet connection. Examples for IaaS. AWS offers storage services such as Simple Storage Service, S3, and Glacier, as well as computing services including Elastic Compute Cloud and etc. This is the pictorial representation for IaaS, infrastructure as a service. The first one is on-site. Everything is here managed by our own. For this is the on-site on-premises server. Application, data, runtime, middleware, OS, virtualization, servers, storage, and networking. Everything we have to maintain by your own. Well, coming to the IaaS, infrastructure as a service. Applications, data, runtime, and middleware OS. This we have to install. Virtualization, server storage, networking, these are provided by vendor, cloud provider. PaaS, platform as a service. PaaS means the hardware and and application software platform are provided and managed by an outside cloud service provider, but the user handles the apps running on top of the platform, and the data the applies app relies on. Primarily for developers and programmers, PaaS gives users a shared cloud platform for application development and management, an important DevOps component, without having to build and maintain the infrastructure usually associated with the process. Example, AWS Elastic Beanstalk. This is the pictorial representation of PaaS. Applications and data we have to install, remaining the runtime middleware OS virtualization server software networking will be provided by the service provider. SaaS, software as a service, is a service that delivers a software application which the cloud service provider manages to its users. Typically, SaaS apps are web applications or mobile apps that users can access via a web server. Software updates, bug fixes, and other general software maintenance are taken care of for the user, and they connect to the cloud applications via dashboard. For example, Google Workspace, Dropbox, Salesforce, Cisco WebEx, SAP, GoToMeeting. This is the pictorial representation for SaaS, software as a service, application, data, runtime, middleware, OS, virtualization, server, storage, networking, everything maintained by the service providers. Here, I want to discuss few networking concepts as well. What is an IP? An IP stands for Internet Protocol. An IP address is is assigned to each device connected to a network. Each device uses an IP address for communication. It also behaves as an identifier, as this address is used to identify the device on the network. IPv4 is a version 4 of IP. It is a 32-bit address. IPv6 is a 128-bit hexadecimal address. IPv6 provides a large address space. IP address classes. We have a 4 type of classes. Is class A. It starts with 1.0.0.2, 126.255.255.255. This is a class B network, 128.0.0.0 to 191.255.255.255. And class C, 192.0.0.0 to 223.255.255.255. Class D, usually this is reserved for multi-classes, multicast. We will use only class A, class B, and class C. Class E is reserved for experimental and used for research purposes. The IP address 127.0.0.1 is called a loopback address. This is some information you can get about IP info and subnet calculator, where you wanted to calculate your subnets. You can calculate here using the set, and you have the most of the subnet calculator online websites also. For subnetting, what is subnetting? When a bigger network is divided into smaller networks in order to maintain security, then that is known as subnetting. So maintenance is easier for smaller networks. Private IP. Private IP address of a system is IP address which is used to communicate within the same network. Using private IP, data or information can be sent or received within the same network. In the later sessions, we will discuss deeply on private and public address space while we are dealing with the infrastructure or with the projects. Within the projects, we will use only private IP address. Only the applications which are required exposed to the or internet, we will use the public. Remaining all our address space will be in the private. Private address space. Class A 10.0.0.0 to 10.255.255.255. This is the class B. 172.16.0.0 to 172.31.255.255. Class C. 172.168.0.0 to 192.168.255.255. Public IP addresses of a system is IP address which is used to communicate outside the network. Public IP address is basically assigned by the ISP, Internet Service Provider. And where comes DevOps roadmap. If you wanted to start your career in DevOps, first we have to learn or having some basic knowledge about Windows and Linux. You have to know some basics knowledge about Windows operating systems and few functions and applications and all. For the Linux as well, because whenever we deploy any resource, we will connect to that terminal. Like if you install any Linux based or Debian based machines in cloud, you will use PuTTY or some other tool to connect to that server. You will have to get some knowledge on the commands, Linux commands as well. And if we wanted to learn the cloud, any of the cloud you can choose Microsoft Azure or AWS or Google Cloud. Any of the cloud platform you can learn. Once you are through the cloud and cloud administration, then it will be easy for you to step into the DevOps. In DevOps, build code, plan, test, release, deploy, and operate, monitor. There are so many tools in DevOps we will discuss later. And this is the Kubernetes. This is the next. Once you are familiar with the DevOps, once you are familiar with Windows, Linux, and any cloud platform or DevOps tools, then it will be easy for you to tap into the Kubernetes microservices application and containerized applications. Yes, DevOps. We can see the small definition for DevOps. DevOps is a set of practices that combines software development and IT operations. It aims to shorten the system's development lifecycle and provide continuous delivery with high software quality. The DevOps is a combination of two words, software development and IT operations. This allows a single team to handle the entire application lifecycle, from development to testing, deployment, and operations. DevOps helps you to reduce the connection between software developers, quality assurance, QA engineers that is, and system administrators. Thank you. In the next session, we will discuss about infrastructure as a code. By using the Terraform, we will deploy and provision the infra in AWS cloud. Thank you.